Eric Paul's in here with 9 to 5 Sports. Going to be getting into the top value plays here for week 7 of the NFL DFS slate. Now, some of these players are going to be the same players I was on for the quarter plays video, and I do apologize for that. They are some good value plays out there, so there might be a little bit of repetition there. I apologize. But let's get into the top value plays on this slate. If you guys enjoy this coverage, remember, like and subscribe. That helps out the channel a lot, which helps me be able to help you guys out. Do just want to give a quick thank you to our video sponsors of today. Yes, that is plural. We have 2. You guys are familiar with Sports Battle app, the prop-based daily fantasy sports app. I would say my favorite one out there. The app is very easy to use. So get out there and use it, guys. It has all the sports that you would want in there. It's kind of free money if you use the promo code 9 and then TO5. Okay, so download today, use the promo code 9TO5, get $5 cash back on a deposit of over $50 or more, plus 100% cash back your original deposit as well. That's the nice thing about kind of the industry, the fantasy industry right now. It's like if you take advantage of these promo codes that are out there, you can be set up for a lot of free money, free entertainment for quite a while. So I enjoy that part. And then there is StatHero, guys. I don't know if you guys are familiar with StatHero, but StatHero is a 9 to 5 sponsor now. And the thing about StatHero is they have 3 different play types. They got their survivor. Basically, you just need to survive each round. It's a typical survivor pool. And then they have the head-to-head, which is my personal favorite. You're playing against the lineup that they put out there, their house lineup, and you're trying to beat it. Okay. And I like that a lot because you know what the objective is, and you kind of know what the constraints are, and you can go ahead and attack it. So I like that as well. And then you just have a standard pick 'em as well. So get out there and check out those sponsors today. Now let's get into the values for today's video. Oh, for StatHero, guys, the promo code that you need to use when you sign up is 925. Okay, 925. The number's 925. Okay, for Sports Battle app, it's 9TO5. Okay, let's get into today's video. I do like Aaron Rodgers a little bit going against the Washington Commanders. Like, this is the ultimate get right spot here. Okay, not only are they going against a backup quarterback in Taylor Heineke, who I actually like him. I think he's a solid game manager. Heck, he could be starting over some of the quarterback play that we've seen thus far this season, but the Packers are going to be favored to win. And this is actually a game in which they're going to be favored to win by points, in which I agree with. Okay, against the Giants, I kind of thought they gave that one to the Giants, okay? Against the Jets, I've been saying for a while that the Jets are a good team. We have seen that the Commanders are just not a good team. So the Green Bay Packers should finally be able to take advantage of a good matchup, okay? And I think it's finally going to happen for the Green Bay Packers. So I like Aaron Rodgers, and thus I do like Romeo Doubs a lot as a value play as well, because while they don't really have anyone else to play, like Sammy Watkins might be back active, and if he is active, he'd be a great value / sleeper play as well. But for now, I'm looking at Romeo Doubs, who's been playing about 90% of the snaps to stack with Aaron Rodgers. Once again, sleeper play. On the core plays video, I did mention Jimmy G going against the Kansas City Chiefs, who have been a very plus matchup for opposing quarterbacks. So in the last 2 games, Jimmy G has went for over 15 DK points, which 18 DK points is what he scored the last 2 games. Is not that much, okay? We do need him to score a few more DK points. We need him to get that 400-yard bonus. We need him not to throw 200 INTs. We need him to throw 2 touchdowns. Like, we need all that stuff. But the fact of the matter is, going against the Chiefs, we know that's going to be their weakness, okay? So that would be the approach in which I would like to attack the Chiefs is via the quarterback spot. And so at 5.5, Jimmy G is a decent play. The biggest issue with him is that he's not throwing the ball enough, okay? 41 passing attempts last week was his highest amount. Other than that, it was 30, okay? We do not like that. So that's why he's just a value play. Now, Matt Ryan is a player that I think you could end up on in a main slate build, okay? The price point's right. The matchup's right, going against the Tennessee Titans, that all aligns. And I did point out that, like, there have been 2 games in which he's thrown the ball over 50% or over 50 times. And to me, that's huge. He's thrown the ball over 43 times this season. Okay, so like, if he's going to be passing the ball that many times in this game, then yes, I do like Matt Ryan. And obviously, this is a matchup in which we like going against the Tennessee Titans. So at 5.4, there is a route in which he can get to 20 DK points. And we've seen him go for 20 DK points in 3 out of this 6 weeks. So he's not a lock and load play, but he's a play at this price point I am perfectly fine with. He should be a solid value play for you on this slate. And then Davis Mills, I already touched on this in the last video, the core plays video as well. Like, at 5K, it does warrant some consideration going against the Las Vegas Raiders, which have been a defense that you've been targeting a lot this season. This is a prime matchup, okay? And Davis Mills has been throwing the ball around 35 times per game, except for that game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which kind of just ended up being a strange game. Dameon Pierce has stepped up and looked good on the ground, and maybe that is the offensive focus that they go with in this game, is running the ball. And that would be the worry, I guess, is that they try to run the ball a little bit too much. And if that happens, then, we're a little bit worried. But Davis Mills in the matchup at 5K, it doesn't take much to value. All it takes is for him to score 15 DK points. Can he do that? I think so in this matchup at 5K. Can he get a touchdown in like 200 passing yards? Yes, I like him as a play. All right, just touching on Brian Robinson, I do see him more as a sleeper play. At 5.5, he is someone that you should consider. I mean, he came in and saw 17 rushing attempts, and he only played in over 40 or in about 45% of the snaps last week for the Washington Commanders. Given the fact that that was his first game back from an injury, I kind of think that he is going to see more snaps. And if he does see an increase in snaps, let's say to about 60%, then he should be able to get a few more touches. If not, it should stay the same. And so Brian Robinson at 5.5, going against the Green Bay Packers that just got tore up against Breece Hall and a little bit of Michael Carter, like they both kind of had their way against the Green Bay Packers, and we've already seen David Montgomery go off against them. Like, there is a path in which Brian Robinson kind of breaks the slate as a sleeper play. Like, I don't think he's someone that you're going out of your way to play, but you can make an educated choice to play Brian Robinson over like a stud play like Kenneth Walker. Like, Kenneth Walker is kind of an elite play. Everyone kind of knows that Kenneth Walker is going to be a solid play on the slate. He should be chalk. So like maybe Brian Robinson is a strong pivot for you, a strong sleeper play for you on this slate. I do want to point out Kenyon Drake because he did lead the Baltimore Ravens in snaps at about 58%, which I was pretty shocked by. It turns out J.K. Dobbins was a little bit banged up, and that's why we saw Kenyon Drake get that workload. So the biggest thing we need to monitor is if J.K. Dobbins is going to play, or is he going to be limited? Are they going to limit his workload? If one of those two things happen, then Kenyon Drake becomes not only a great value play, but probably one of the best running back players on the slate, given the matchup with the Cleveland Browns, a matchup that you have been targeting and having a lot of success thus far this season. Okay, so given the fact that Drake is going to be going against the Browns, that already makes him appealing alone, standalone value-wise. Okay, if he's playing about 40 to, let's just say 60% of the snaps, and he's going to get a few targets in the passing game, like, that is highly appealing to me. The problem with it is, it's like in 2 games that he's kind of been a factor, the most touches that I've seen is 11 or 12, I guess, because he had a receiving or a catch as well. So he needs to be efficient is the biggest problem. But against the Cleveland Browns, that is something that a lot of running backs have been able to do. And in some situations, 2 running backs have been able to hold value against the Cleveland Browns. So yes, Kenyon Drake is a play that does make a lot of sense, especially in terms of a value or a sleeper play. And I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't mention Latavius Murray. We all know that it was strange what happened on Monday night. Melvin Gordon not getting snaps. Okay, pretty much what we saw the Denver Broncos coaches do is say that Latavius Murray, a guy that was a practice squad running back, is a better running back than Javonte Williams because Melvin Gordon had been taking away work from Javonte Williams. And then Latavius Murray just made Melvin Gordon not a thing. And Latavius Murray didn't look all that good. Okay, yeah, he had 4.4 yards per carry. It was solid, like sure, but it's nothing that Melvin Gordon can't do or hasn't done better than, so it's strange. So if that does continue this week, and by all the quotes we've heard from Nathaniel Hackett, the worst NFL head coach in the league, it does seem like they were just saying that Melvin Gordon wasn't good enough to play, that Latavius Murray outplayed him, that Melvin was benched, not for any reason, just they benched him. Something to monitor there. It wouldn't be too shocking to see Latavius Murray have a big workload. Then I did already mention Romeo Doubs as a sleeper play, kind of a value play as well, like Aaron Rodgers in that matchup with the Washington Commanders. I think that's a matchup that you want to target. He should be playing about 90% of the snaps. I will say Josh Palmer and Michael Gallup are both pretty solid value plays as well. I do think Michael Gallup is a guy that, we can continue to target. He's had 3, 5, and 7 targets thus far this season. Those targets, I think, are going to continue to go up. And given the fact that Dak Prescott is going to be there, they should be better targets as well. This offense should try to throw the ball a little bit more because they should be a little bit more efficient throwing the football. They won't have to run the ball as much as they have been. Okay, so that makes him an appealing play, but it also does make Noah Brown an appealing play as well. So Noah Brown has actually seen more snaps than Michael Gallup thus far in each of the games that Michael Gallup has been back for. Now, the targets have not been there. So once again, we are hoping that Dak Prescott is able to sustain more than CeeDee Lamb in the passing game. And maybe Jake Ferguson. We'll see. Strange with Dalton Schultz there, what's going on there. But the fact of the matter is, I do think that one of Michael Gallup or Noah Brown are going to be a pretty strong discounted play this week, and we just got to figure out which one. I kind of like going with Noah Brown. He's cheaper, playing more snaps, hoping that the targets get there. And so my biggest problem with this slate is that we really don't have any standout values. Now with Robbie Anderson there, I'm going to once again say Shi Smith could be a good value. And I know you guys are probably sick of hearing this. Okay, I apologize. He's just playing a lot. Okay, the target should be there. Sam Darnold is going to be the quarterback now. So Like, it should be better. It should be like Sam Darnold, I think, is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. He's going to be better than PJ Walker. Fingers crossed. You could do worse. You could find worse plays, worse logic plays than Shi Smith. It could all come together finally for Shi Smith as a value. Then I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job as well if I didn't mention Alec Pierce again. Alex Pierce has looked good. Okay, he has just stood out in film. Now he's seen 5, 6, 9, and 7 targets over the last 4 weeks. In the last 3 weeks, he scored over 10 DK points. He's averaging 10 DK points on the season at 4.6. Given the matchup, given the fact that we like Matt Ryan, then we also have to like a couple of his pass catchers. Obviously, Michael Pittman's a stud. JT's expected to be back, so maybe he catches a couple of passes. But then we're looking at Alec Pierce. I think he could be a strong play. And at the same time, I do think Paris Campbell, who's been a guy that's been playing around 90% of the snaps, could be a good target as well. He finally saw some targets for the amount of snaps he's playing. It had been strange. Okay, he hadn't been getting that many targets. He finally got those. Saw 11 last week. Was able to score 18.7 DK points. So it wouldn't be too shocking to see Paris Campbell have a good game as well. Maybe you're trying to do a weird stack where you're going Matt Ryan. God, that sounds ugly. Matt Ryan, Michael Pittman, and then either Alec Pierce or Paris Campbell as like a low-owned sleeper stack. So real quickly, if John Bates and Logan Thomas are ruled out, then Cole Turner would be a pretty stellar tight end play at the minimum price. Former receiver in college, came in and saw 70% of the snaps, scored 4.3 DK points. That could be something that goes up a little bit, but he should be a solid play for you, a solid value play, might I add. Now, a solid play through and through across the board should be Greg Dulcich, who really came in and dominated the snaps. I was surprised by that, and we can only see his snaps go up. I could see him getting 80% of the snaps in this game. Almost had 2 touchdowns, but did score a touchdown. Had 3 targets, 2 receptions, 44 yards, and 12.4 DK points. Obviously, if we get over 10 DK points, that's huge, but he is something that I don't see not scoring any points. Okay, he can get us 6 DK points and at 2.5 for a minimum price tight end play. He feels super safe, but I also do think he has that upside. That coaching staff loves him, so he's someone that I could see like really having a strong game. And then it does seem like Cameron Brate is going to be ruled out. So if he's ruled out, then Cade Otton becomes a great value play as well. At 2.7, he'd be someone I'm looking at. We saw the last time where he was kind of the tight end 1. He saw a lot of snaps, saw 7 targets, and scored 10.3 DK points. Once again, I think he'd have a safe floor and would have the opportunity to score 10 DK points for you, so he'd also be a stellar play for you. With how bad the Chargers looked on offense on Monday Night Football, and I know that's a lot due to the Denver Broncos defense being good, but the Seahawks defense has been pretty solid as well for some of the games, okay? Against New Orleans, they sucked, and against Detroit, who had been a good offense, they kind of sucked. Atlanta, a pretty strong, smart offense, I should say, smart offense. And then San Francisco, they shut down, and then the Broncos, they shut down. So they also shut down the Cardinals. So 3 out of the 6 matchups, they've done really well. Okay, so I could see them scoring around 5 DK points. My biggest strategy when playing a defense is find the lowest price defense that's not going to go negative, and I think that'd be the Seattle Seahawks. But that's all I have for you guys for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. That helps the channel. Let's have a good slate, guys, and as always, let's keep cashing.